So hi everyone, my name is Dirva Makkadia, currently pursuing in the final year of my computer engineering, and today I am going to demonstrate you my DMW project named handwritten digit recognition. So it will basically recognize the digit whatever the user will write. So it may be useful in the keyboards where the user do not need to type. He just need to draw that particular digit, and it will get recognized and automatically typed in the typing part. So there it may be useful. So firstly I'll show you my output. So here in the paint we can see that I have drawn 1. So the prediction must be correct, right? Let's see if it works. So prediction is 1. So right, then let's try 8. Yeah, then 2. Right, correct. Then 4. Then let's try 7. Now there are various ways, right, to write 7. User may write the 7 like this also, then the user may write 7 like this also, right? So let's see whether it predicts or not the 7. Yeah, it predicted correctly. Let's try the last one now, 5. So yes, as we can see that all our predictions were correct, right? Now I'll explain you my coding part. So I have followed 4 steps basically. First was screen capture. So in screen capture I have imported packages. Like first is the image grab by screenshot. So it will be useful in taking the screenshot. Then import time will be useful for sleeping. Will use that function in the sleep, right? Then image folder. Now this capture image is already created in our what we can say, the folder. Why it was created, I'll show you. Here captured images I had created because I need the database, right, to predict. So for every digit I had written 30 images for each and every digit. So for 1 2, for every digit, and there are various, like here we can see that for whatever way the user write, it should predict because we have entered in the database, right? So here in 7 also there were various types of 7 inserted, and so it was predicting that. Then captured images, it will store first. I have done this, it is for 2, but for every what we can say, for every folder we have to do it from 0 to 9, and the range is from 0 to 30 because we need 30 images to store, and the sleep time was 8 seconds. So after every 8 seconds it will do this functioning. So this functioning is image grab. So it will take the screenshot of that particular top left corner. So now why top left corner? So it is because of this reason. So these are the coordinates passed for the top left corner. So this was the reason that I was writing the paint, means I have inserted the paint in the top left side. Okay, then we'll, as soon as it will get saved, the print image will be followed, and then it will save that particular image in the that folder with the string name and .png. Then again after saving, it will print that clear screen and redraw. So we have to redraw again and again. After every 8 seconds it will take that screenshot and store it in the folder. So in this way I have stored it in the folder, each and every image. So now that images need to be stored in the data set, right? So to take the output as we want. So now for that we have imported CV2 file, CSV and globe. So CSV was what we can say, CV2 is like for OpenCV we use image grab and all that. Then CSV is for whatever the path we enter, it will take and it will check that whether it paths is correct or not. Then for globe it will find that, means for that image it will find the path, and then it will, so this all packages are imported. Then header is equal to label. Now I'll show you my data set so that you will understand it properly. So header is equal to label. So first in array we have inserted the label in the, so here we can see first is the label part, right? Then next is the, what we can see, yeah, then the header dot append, it will append the pixel. Then it will open in the data set and append that particular what we can say, that particular pixel. So now 0 to 784 is taken because we need our image size, we have like fixed, it should be 28 by 28 only. So for that 28 by 28 is 783. So 0 to 783 we want, 784, 28 by 28. So from 0 to 783 the image will be stored, and then in the data set for every pixel, like pixel 0, pixel 1 up to 784. So here we can see pixel 0, pixel 1 up to, I'll show you, see 783, right? See, this is the last one. Okay, then here it will read our image and then it will convert it into the what we can say, grayscale image. So now why grayscale? So that there are only two, like black and white, there is no other color, so it will be easy for pixels to identify whether the image is drawn there in the particular pixel or not. So for that, and then Gaussian blur, so we are blurring the image here because we can avoid the noisy pixel, so that where the means the pixel is blurred, or that part will be removed using Gaussian blur. Then the image is resized, so here we have resized it so that as we have decided that it should be 28 by 28. Then the data is stored in the array, and we'll append the label like from 0 to 783. Then in rows and columns we'll take that particular label and store it, and then after in rows and columns, after we take it, we now here comes the we'll convert that image in that pixel, and we'll store it as zeros and ones, means wherever so I'll show you using with the help of diagram. So here see, as we can see that in this image the 8 is drawn, right? So wherever the 8 is drawn, the pixels are 0, and wherever the 8 is not drawn, the pixels are 1. So exactly opposite of this we are going to do. Wherever the 8 is drawn, we'll write it as 1, and wherever like for other part, wherever the 8 is not drawn, we'll write it as 0. So for that, like if k is greater than 100, so 100 is that wherever the part we draw, the pixel value is always greater than 100. So if the pixel value is greater than 100, then we'll make it as 1. So the drawn part will be 1 and the other will be 0, and that particular data we'll append it in the data set. So now we'll here append it in the data set and write. So here in the data set we can see that all our values are in the form of zeros and ones. Only the label part, like for every label 0 to 9, that will be from 0 to 9, but all the other part is in zeros and ones only. Then here we'll load the data set so that we can check that whether our data set is correct or not. Then for that we use pandas library, and we import shuffle so that we get the shuffle data and not the line wise data. Then we'll read that CSV, dataset.csv, which I had shown just earlier. Then it will shuffle that data and store. So here we are getting the random values from the data set, and we can see here 320 rows and 785 columns are there. Okay, And then from this particular part, now comes the main part. We will change it in the like in two parts. First will be the dependent variable and all the other will be independent. And as we know that one variable should always be, only one variable should be dependent and all the others are independent. So your label will be dependent on the pixel values. So we have to make that particular label column different and store it in the different variable and all the others in the different. So here x, in x we have stored all our except the label column, all the columns are stored, and in y only the label column is stored. Then here we have used matplotlib so that it will plot our what we can say, our diagram in form of graph. And we have imported cv2 so that we can use reshape shaping of it. So index 192 is taken randomly. So 192, we can see here 192, its label is 5. So let's see that the label and the image drawn is coming correct or not. So here we have printed y index, and y index is the label part. So label is printed y, and all the other, like image, show images, it will check the pixels and draw our image. So it is coming perfect, that is 5. So it is correct. Now we'll train and test our model. So in training and testing our model, first thing we need to know is that for training part 80% of our data is needed, and for testing part other 20%. So for training all the means more data is needed and everything we have to give it, and in testing part we have to just provide some of the data and it will predict our output. Then for training data we have given x, y and the test size. Okay, then here we'll fit the model, that is svc. We will make the model so that every time we do not need to make the database, and we have to just then after we have to just take that model and we can run any of the PCs. Like it is not necessary that you should code this upper part, all the upper part, no, only you should have the model and you can use it. So for that we have done this, and here we have used import svc. So for svc, what is svc now? So I will show you just a second. So here svc is support vector classifier. So it here the, like let's say this is the 0 digit and this is the 1 digit, right? So it will the margin we have to draw, it should be in that form that all the, what we can say, the outlines of the zeros, like the maximum distance between the minimum distance between the two zeros and ones, that from there we have to draw the margin. And then the margin will be like, it should be in, the distance should be equal, like from this also the distance is equal and from here also the distance is equal. And this is called the hyperplane, and this is the positive one and this is the negative one. Okay, so this is the svc basically. And svc or random state used is 6. So this number is then used further if we want, then we'll calculate the accuracy. So for that we have used here predict function, and we can see that here our accuracy is 85.93%. and now here we'll predict our image, draw image. So for that we'll just import the joblib cv2. Joblib is a library where we can like what we can say, it will make our work easy in the form of path whatever we give. Then cv2, then numpy, and all these were explained earlier. Then joblib.load. So here as I said that it makes our work easy, it will just load whatever the path is given. So it will help us, the model we made, it will load that model, and it will image folder. Here we have created new path image, then it will grab the image. Now that for the earlier what we did, the same thing we have to do it again. Now this we have to do it to take the output, right? So while I was showing the output, that time also we need to grab that particular screenshot, change that particular into the, what we can say, grayscale, etc. So here also I have used image grab, and same coordinates, that is top left corner, and again this image means 5 will be stored in the image.png. so now I'll show you where it will get stored. See, here it is, the image 5. Okay, so here it will get stored, and then at that particular image will get converted into the grayscale, then Gaussian blur. These steps are all the same, just for the output we are doing it again. Then thresholding of that image and resizing that, as we have decided that our image should be 28 by 28 pixels, and then we have taken the shape and means like split it into 2 rows and columns of that particular image, and then X is taken again. That this process is followed, that this image wherever 5 is drawn, K will be 1 and the other part K will be 0, and this will be appended in the X. And then now we'll by using that particular X, we will predict the our model, and from prediction of 0 will contain the label part now. So there all our labels will be stored, so all that labels will be displayed. And then put text is, now this is the line, it is used for Windows, like this output where what I shown was in the Windows form. So prediction is, and then string 0, and it will put that text in the Windows, and 2020 is the font size what we want, and 255 0 is the green color, and in RGB. Then CV tutor line AA, so this line will put the text in the Windows, and it will start the window, name the window as a result, and then it will show our image as well, like whatever I was writing here, it was showing simultaneously in the output also, as if you can recall. Then your weight key is 10,000, so after every second, like every image, it will take the screenshot, it will take the image, do this all process, do the prediction. Again if I write this, again it will do particularly, like it will go on predicting until and unless I press enter key. So now why that enter is used, so now if cv2.weight key 1 is equal to 13, now 13 is the ASCII of enter. So if I enter the, means if I press the enter button, then only the windows will get closed, and then only the running part will get stopped. I hope you all have understood my project. Thank you.